Hillary Clinton has called Donald Trump to concede the race. She has called Donald Trump to say that she will not be president, and I'm not sure the exact words, but probably to congratulate President-elect Donald Trump. So that has happened in the last few moments.
This is not how I thought things would go. It has been very disheartening and horrifying to see so many people in this country vote to say that they don't believe that I am a human being in the same way that they are, and that I do not deserve the same fundamental rights as other people.
I was actually at the actual convention center where basically Hillary Clinton was supposed to come out and basically give her speech, and we were all very excited. The energy at the beginning of the night was just very just high. Everybody was very happy, very excited, because no one was really expecting that Donald Trump was actually really going to win. The LGBT community I'm especially afraid for, because even though with Trump we don't really know kind of what his policy is going to be, his vice president Mike Pence already has a record, and it's a very bad record for the LGBT community.
I think the hardest part about Tuesday night's results was that I never thought that she wouldn't win. When I was little, I remember no one ever told me I couldn't do something because I was a girl. And when I was in middle school, we watched this movie called Iron Jawed Angels, and it was all about women going to prison to fight for the right to vote. And we all thought it was so cool because we didn't have to deal with that anymore. And in America, it's equal now, and there isn't widespread sexism anymore. So I think Tuesday night was the first time I realized that there is, and it was absolutely heartbreaking, and as I'm sure a lot of girls feel pretty much the same way. And I was at the White House when I found out, and we ran down, and when she still had a shot, and then I'm getting the notifications on my phone, he has Florida, he has Pennsylvania, he has Wisconsin, and realizing oh my God, this man who has just run on hatred is now going to be our president.
There's just this silence in the room, and there's just tears, and it's not just the minority students crying, it's the white students crying, it's everybody's crying. And it was really strange because I, as a PA, have to stay strong and be the resource for my students so that they can come and cry on my shoulders. So I couldn't share my tears. And it was really hard because I really wanted to really let go of my emotion, but I couldn't then. So I think back then, on the night of the election, I didn't really accept the things as they were. I was kind of in denial, and I had to be in denial to stay strong. It's been 3 days since the election, and I think it's finally hitting me. I'm getting random urge of tears, random rush of emotions, and I get really angry and frustrated at all these Facebook posts, whether they're for Hillary or not for Hillary, whatever the Facebook post may be. It seems like it's dividing the nation even more, and it made me question how I live my life and whether I did live in a liberal bubble. And also made me reflect on how I also wasn't aware of all the social justice movements that were going on until I moved to AU. So a lot of regrets, a little bit of hope, a lot of tears and anger, and still trying to go through the grievance process and overcome my own emotions to fight for others.
I'm not really surprised that he won. People were saying, "Oh, no, he's not gonna." He had an awful amount of people that would come to his rallies that would support him. He really put himself out there. I'm relatively safe because in the community where I am, I lived in one of the bluest areas of New Jersey, northern New Jersey. So my town, everyone knows each other. If you're a racist, people will call you out on it. my neighbors are like my mom, like my parents' best friends and stuff like that. So I'm in a pretty good community. I'm lucky, but I know a bunch of other Muslims are not, and it's troubling.
As an American Jew whose parents immigrated from Iran and Eastern Europe, I'm enraged that someone who based their entire campaign on fear and hatred could become president of the United States. I feel threatened not only for myself, but for other racial minorities who may remain unprotected throughout Trump's presidency.
This year's election has been one I've truly been engaged with. From the very beginning, Trump stigmatized Mexicans, and he has continued to do so. As a Mexican immigrant, I'm aware of these stigmas and know that they don't represent who I am. Wherever you look, there are immigrants. Whether it's a construction worker, a leading entrepreneur, undocumented or documented, we are making a statement.
It just feels like we've gone back several decades, which is frustrating within itself, especially when we've already been fighting for so much of equality in this nation and not getting the results that we want or that we deserve to have just for simply being human beings. I don't know what's going to happen going forward. I'm less worried about Trump being president and more worried about the people who he surrounds himself with. That includes his cabinet, people that he's going to put into heads of different agencies. It's scary because of their beliefs and how they want the United States to move forward, and it's not for the greater good of the country. It's for the greater good of how they think that this country should be and how they view their dynamics with people who are different than them.
So much has happened in the past few days. So many hate crimes, harassment. I know countless people, women, minorities, who have just felt such immense fear. And I feel so much fear. I was talking to a friend, I'm afraid to cross the street. Like, shouldn't that be something simple? Shouldn't that be something easy? But I don't know anymore. And I'm thinking a lot about the children right now who are growing up and are hearing their classmates chanting, like, build the wall in the cafeteria. And the young Latino or Hispanic children who are afraid that their families are going to get deported, and the young Black children who are, going to be told even more than they're already being told to stay safe for the next 4 years. And I'm a survivor of sexual violence. I've been raped twice, and that really sucks. And I think one of the hardest things for me at a personal level was just that feeling of invalidation. That none of my experiences mattered because, so many people in the nation thought that a man who brags about sexually assaulting women and condones it was elected. And I don't know if that hurt is going to go away anytime soon because it feels like a big betrayal to me. There are a lot of people that I love and value and cherish in my life who voted for Donald Trump despite knowing my experiences, and that hurts. That hurts a lot. And knowing that my country also disregarded all of that.
Like half of the nation, I'm disappointed. I wasn't banking on that Hillary was going to win, but I also wasn't like, oh, of course Donald Trump is gonna win. I think the split, no matter what, because a lot of people argue that Hillary, she won the popular votes, because of the Electoral College. The democracy is not real, but it is further proof that the nation has been split, just like the Civil War, between these two mentalities of a more, not even necessarily liberal, but a life without slavery, and the mentalities that are built around race and a life with it.
A lot of progress that has been made in the last 8 years under President Obama is just very much up in the air right now, and it could very easily be taken away. And I think it was definitely, this election's been a very sort of kind of wake-up call for me. And I sort of realized that, things are very precious and they can be taken away from you in the blink of an eye, so.
I'm upset mostly because Trump asked Black people what we have to lose. Like, there aren't black people who are part of the Nation of Islam, like there are black queer people, like that there isn't racism that still exists within the United States. The United States as a country in its whole legality, its whole existence has been founded upon racism and the genocide of people who are darker than others because people assume that they're more civilized than other people, which may not be true. So at this point, I'm trying to enjoy my last month and a half with Barack before this country probably tears itself to shreds. But I guess we can only see, but time will reveal everything that will happen. But I'm not very optimistic moving forward.
As a straight white male, this election may not affect me. However, it affects my friends, my family members, the students I live with, and this entire country. I'm not going to hide under an umbrella and hide my privilege, just like the 72% of white, uneducated men who voted for Donald Trump did. We all need to stand up for what's right, and stand up for our country. So please, don't hide, use your voice, and let's truly be stronger together.
We got to make these next 4 years the best of these next 4 years, and I definitely don't think we should pray for Trump to fail and do awfully, because then we're all screwed. But yeah, I hope these next 4 years, aren't as bad as what people are saying, but I guess only time will tell.
The number one thing is that we don't know what Trump is going to do. So I think just like getting ready and like being on guard for anything he tries to do is the most important, because once he is inaugurated and starts doing whatever the hell he is going to do, we need to be ready to like fight it and shut it down and not reverse all the progress we've made.
Something that I've learned from this election is that we must be engaged. It's not just about the days leading up to the election, but every day that comes after. Now that Trump has been elected president, we must mobilize and put pressure on the administration so that we aren't marginalized any further.
Many of you are at the beginning of your professional, public, and political careers. You will have successes and setbacks too. This loss hurts, but please never stop believing that fighting for what's right is worth it.